Hi friends, this is our last lesson on figurative language. We have been talking about similes and metaphors and idioms and personification, proverbs, adages, and hyperboles. I can't remember if I'd already said that, but then we talked about how to apply it in poetry and understanding poetry, and now what we're going to do is we're going to see how we can apply it in an actual passage or fiction story. So, just like always, we're going to read it to understand. And then we're going to go back and find our questions. So you're going to need a red crayon, an orange crayon, a yellow crayon, and a green crayon. So the first thing I'm going to do is read to understand. And then I'm going to go back and answer the questions the second time. Ready to go rock climbing? Henry asked. I'm as excited as a little kid on Christmas, Macy responded. Just as excited as Henry was. Macy laced up her tight lime green shoes and walked up to the menacing rock wall. Ooh, that sounds scary, menacing. The wall towered over her like a gigantic skyscraper in a big city. Maybe it is the tallest rock in the world, she thought nervously. She felt as if she was about to take a test she hadn't studied for. Click! Macy buckled her harness and started climbing. Whoosh! She felt a whistling winds race past her as she started climbing up to the intimidating wall. She held tightly, certain that she was going to fall off the terrifying wall at any moment. Macy moved her hands and feet rapidly up the wall and slowly gained confidence in her abilities. Before she knew it, she was racing up the wall like a monkey, swinging from trees, moving her arms and legs as fast as possible. She was soon at the top. She felt as proud as an Olympian who had just won a gold medal. Victoriously, she moved back down the wall with ease. When she got to the bottom, her muscles were jelly. Macy was so tired that she felt like she could sleep for a week. Ready to go again? Henry asked. Absolutely, Macy responded without a second thought. So the way that the author used figurative language really helped me picture what was going on. So we have to make sure that we have our crayons or colored pencils, and we will be getting ready to answer our questions. All right, I have my colors that I need. I need red first. Answer, which of the following are examples of onomatopoeia from the text? Choose all that apply. That is a new one that we need to talk about. Onomatopoeia is a sound word, like bam, boom, smash, crash. Woo! Anything like that. Those are sound words. So we're going to see which of these choices down below has a word like that. It's usually not describing what a word sounds like. That is sensory language. That's imagery. We want to talk about the actual sound word. Click. Macy buckled her harness and started climbing. We kind of have that click sound, don't we? She felt like she was about to take a test that she hadn't studied for. She held on tightly, certain that she was going to fall off the terrifying wall at any minute. Whoosh! She felt the whistling winds race past her. Oh, that says choose all that apply. So I'm going to go back here and find click. Yeah, that's the click of her. Oh, it's the click of her harness. It's telling us the sound. So I would say that is a choice. And then the other one was whoosh. Yep. That's a good way for us to visualize what's going on by telling us the sounds. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here, and my choices I'm going to pick are A and D. Okay. Give two examples of similes the author uses. What is the purpose of the similes? Not the purpose of similes in general, but those specific similes. So I'm going to go back and I remember, okay, so I'm going to be using orange here. Okay. Simile is a comparison between two things using like or as. So I'm going to do all of them, and then I'm going to pick the ones that I want to use. I'm as excited as a little kid on Christmas. Comparing the kid and Christmas on Macy. Laced up her tight green shoes and walked to the menacing rock wall. The wall towered over her like a gigantic skyscraper in a big city. That really tells us how it's really tall. She felt like she was about to take a test that she hadn't studied for. That shows us how nervous she is. She was racing up the wall like a monkey swinging from trees. That's a simile. She felt as proud as an Olympian who had just won a gold medal. Okay, so I could pick two of those. I'm going to pick this one and this one. Okay, so I'm going to put this next to it. And example 1 is the wall, in quotes, the wall towered over her like a gigantic skyscraper. Now, why did the author use this specific? This shows how large the wall was. It helps us visualize it because we understand what a skyscraper is, so we can compare the skyscraper in our mind to the rock wall and see how that is. The second one was she felt like she was about to take a test that she hadn't studied for. Well, if I hadn't studied for a test and it was a really big test, then I would be really, really, really anxious and nervous that I wasn't going to do well. So I'm going to write that too. She was about to take this shows she is really anxious and scared. Okay, we can all relate to that and help that picture in our mind. Let's slide this under here. Okay. My next one is yellow. What does it mean when the author states that her muscles were jelly? Well, that's a metaphor. Oops, can't spell metaphor. Metaphor. They were like jelly. They were very tired from climbing. So when you're tired, your legs feel like they're wobbly. And they're comparing her legs and jelly. So jelly is not very stable. So her legs were very tired from climbing, so they weren't as stable. And that's what the author's trying to say with that metaphor. And that would be down at the bottom here, if I needed to refer back to it. My last one is green. Give an example from a hyperbole from the text, and hyperbole is extreme exaggeration of the truth. And if I remember here, she felt like she could, I highlighted the wrong thing. I apologize. It should have been her muscles were jelly, and then this should be green. She was so tired that she felt she could sleep for a week. That is an extreme exaggeration. We know she can't sleep for a week, but the author is using that in order to tell us that she's very tired. Macy was so tired that she felt she could sleep for a week. Okay, it tells us that she's super tired. So that is how you do figurative language using a passage.